In this video, I'm going to go over rubber banding in relation to audio tracks. There are more refined and in some ways easier ways to manipulate the volume in real time using audio, but this is a kind of quick and dirty way. I'm just going to show you how this works and distinguish between clips and tracks. So I've got a timeline here. I've just got three very short excerpts from three different Bobby Womack tracks, so we can hear how it goes from one to another. What I've done is expanded the timeline area and grabbed the bottom of this track to make it more visible so I can see more detail. You expand audio tracks by pulling the bottom down, you expand video tracks by pulling the top up. Right, the first thing probably I'm going to do is to ripple delete this. So if I click here, choose ripple delete, and that just pulls that gap in. And now I can press the backspace key, backslash key I should say, so that the entirety of the timeline fills the window. Okay, so three different clips, and what you can see they've got different volume levels. Let's just play them through and you can see the effect of the waveform on this. So the final one, if you keep an eye on the VU meters, you'll see there. You can see. Okay, so clearly the last track is probably too loud. So if I right click on a video track, show clip keyframes. Now it's usually set by default to manipulate the level. I'm going to keep it on that at the moment, and I can come to here, and here you can check whether you're operating on the clip level, i.e. each of these individual three pieces, or on the track level, which affects everything on A1 track. So clip keyframes, track keyframes, and I can track pan as well. So first of all, we're just going to bring the level of this final clip down. So I want clip keyframes. So if I move this near enough to the beginning of the track and click this to add a keyframe, now I've got one point here, so I can click and drag this, and because there's only one point, it's going to affect the whole of the track. So if I move it down there, maybe that much, there is an indication of how many decibels I'm dropping that. So now hopefully the VU meters, yeah, so we're not hitting the zero anymore. Now maybe I think the whole thing is too loud, so I could go here, track keyframes, volume. So now if I add, let's put it at the beginning because that makes the point. Add a keyframe there. Now if I drag this, you'll notice the line moves for the entirety of everything on that. It extends beyond that, so anything else I had there will be similarly affected. Let's play that. So it's combined what I did on the clip level. You notice it was even lower than it was previously. And whether I'm working on a track or a clip level, I can add intermediate keyframes and then create troughs and peaks. So let's just demonstrate that. So just randomly add some points. Let's just do it on this first track here, first clip rather. Now usually I'd create 4 because I'd want to create a plateau perhaps. If I was just going up and down, I'd only need 3, but having created 4, take this one to go up, this one to keep it there. You have to kind of, I don't think you can hold down the shift key, can you? No. So I have to eyeball that, so I might want to zoom in even more to make sure it stays at the same kind of level, or take the, you get a numerical indicator there, so if that's 2.76, I'd make sure that that one was there as well. I can click and drag these points in so I can shape it around what's going on. So now in this particular area, let's just accentuate it even more just to illustrate what's happening. So if I come back to here, so hopefully that was audible. The volume went up and then came back down over a period of time. I can change these points. They are linear at the moment, so you notice it's kind of straight lines to Bezier. Now we have a curve, so it's more kind of gradual in the way that it goes up and down. This is covered in the section on keyframing, where the difference between linear and Bezier is set out. So here I'm using it on a track level, but I'm only doing it where this clip is, so it could be the same as operating on the clip, so they combine together. The other thing I can do, and I can use it in conjunction with the volume, and let's stay on the track level. So you notice now that that line, the normal position, has been reset. It hasn't forgotten the information regarding the volume, but now if I'm to start adding frames here, I'm going to do this across the piece. I'll put them close together so it's quite dramatic, but then let's add another one here. These points now are whether we go to the left or the right. So this one I'm going to move to the extreme here, and then move that down there like that, and then it'll gradually come back up there like that. So now if I was to play this back, we should not only hear the change in volume, but also depending on whether the YouTube video picks up on the stereo separation, should hear that it shifts from one side to the other. Okay, so that's showing the difference between clip and track keyframes, the way in which they combine, and the different functionality between the balance and the volume.